Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Vijana Vallabha Varadhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana 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 Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatiruttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So, we are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 18, entitled Description of Varnashrama Dharma, text number 19. Please repeat after me. Bahir jalashayam gatva Tropasprishya Vagyata Vibhajaya Pavitam Sesham Bunjita Teshamahritam Bahir Jalashayam Gatva Tropasprishya Vagyata Vibhajaya Pavitam Sesham Bunjita Teshamahritam Bahir Jalashayam Gatva Tropasprishya Vagyata Vibhajaya Pavitam Sesham भुञ्जीता तेषमाहृतम् Mataji's word to word meaning. Bahi, outside of urban areas in a secluded place. Jala, of water. Ashayam, to a reservoir. Gatva, going. Tatra, there. Upasprashya, being purified by contact with water. Vagyata, without speaking. Vibhajaya, duly distributing. Pavitam, purified. Sesham, remnants. Bhunjita, one should eat. Asesham, completely. Ahritam, gathered by begging. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Taking the food gathered through begging, one should leave the populated areas and go to a reservoir of water in a secluded place. There, having taken a bath and washed one's hands thoroughly, one should distribute portions of the food to others who may request it. One should do this without speaking. Then, having thoroughly cleansed the remnants, one should eat everything on one's plate, leaving nothing for future consumption. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that a saintly person should not argue or quarrel with materialistic persons who may request or demand part of his foodstuff. The word vibhajya indicates that one should give something to such persons to avoid disturbance, and then offering the remnants to Lord Vishnu, one should eat everything on one's plate without saving food for the future. The word bhaya indicates that one should not eat in a public place, and vagyata indicates that one should eat silently, meditating upon Lord Krishna's mercy. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatham Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, I would like to first beg for the blessings of all the devotees assembled over here to speak on such a great literature as Srimad Bhagavatam. And today being a very auspicious day, also Ekadashi, I am very fortunate to have got this service. I hope at least I will be able to speak something for the inspiration of myself. So, we will read the translation once again. Taking the food gathered through begging, one should leave the populated areas and go to a reservoir of water in a secluded place. There, having taken a bath and washed one's hands thoroughly, one should distribute portions of the food to others who may request it. One should do this without speaking, and then, having thoroughly cleansed the remnants, one should eat everything on one's plate, leaving nothing for future consumption. So, today we are reading from this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 11th canto, where Lord Sri Krishna is explaining to Uddhava the various duties and responsibilities of the people in different ashrams and how actually they can follow these prescribed duties and regulations and transgress from the stage of conditional Baddha state to the liberated, or how one can progress in the spiritual path. And here in this verse and in the previous verses, the duties and the prescribed qualities of a person in the fourth order, which is the highest order, that is the sannyas, is being described by Lord Sri Krishna in very detail, because Uddhav is very likely to take up all these duties and roles in the service of Lord Krishna in the immediate future. In Bhagavad Gita itself, Lord Sri Krishna, while explaining to Arjuna the way, this is the Uddhav Gita, and similarly we had the Bhagavad Gita, which was much smaller because it was spoken at the background of a imminent war which was supposed to take place. But now here, in this case, Lord Krishna is having much more time at his disposal, and so he is describing in greater detail. In Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter, almost towards the conclusion of his message, Lord Krishna explains that one of the three principal things which one should never give up in any walk of life is yajna, dana and tapah. Krishna says in the 18th chapter, yajna dana tapah karma nattajam karyam evatat yajyo danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Says, acts of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up, they must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even the great souls. So, these three principal duties of making sacrifice, yajna, giving in charity, dana, and tapaha, or performing tapasya or penance, is prescribed not only, of course, here Lord Krishna was exclusive, means describing the duties for a person in the fourth order, the sannyas order, but actually if we see, he is saying it should not be given up by any person. He is saying it must be performed, and it can even not only for conditioned souls, even for elevated souls or even for purified people, these three duties or these three services will actually help him progress further, even to the means the higher stages of life. So, and in this verse we see how Krishna is explaining that these three integral parts of any person, how it should be applied for a sannyasi. He says, as far as the tapasya is concerned, that he is describing over here that one should live in a secluded place. Although a sannyasi may come to a city or a town where amongst people and collect alms, go for begging, that of course, even going and begging alms from householders, that also is a tapasya. It is means making one humble. I mean, you have to go and ask, and you are not sure whether your request will be accepted. People may reject or make fun of you, and there are so many instances where in the Bhagavatam also, that a life of a mendicant is actually a life of great tapasya and humility. But if it is done in the right consciousness, many a times people nowadays we see they make begging as their profession, and for them it is the way of life. Means it said, means some time back somebody was describing how a person would come in a car and then change on to his uniform and then sit for his means in his profession which he was practicing, that of begging. And then once he is done with his duty hours are over, then again he would change his clothes and then sit in the car and go. So, but that is not the type of begging which is explained over here. Here, the sannyasi is required to beg at 7 different houses, and that too discreet, means in the sense, it should not be that he is going to the same house again and again because he knows that, okay, these people are very compassionate. He should go to different houses. That's what is explained. And also another part of the tapasya which is explained in this verse is that once you get something by begging, it's not that, okay, if there is, you receive many a times, sometimes you may not receive, sometimes you may receive much more than what you need on that particular day. But here it is mentioned that one should not save for the future. He should not keep for the next day even. So whatever is available, then one has to also perform yajna. Tapasya, now yajna is that we offer it as a sacrifice to the Supreme Lord. So to understand, okay, once, even if you have received by your effort, to understand that whatever has been received is not just because I have put in the effort, but it is because it is the mercy of the Lord. So this is a very important underlying principle which all of us need to understand. That although we may put in effort in different ways, but still we have to realize that whatever we get is actually not ours. It's not because of our effort, but it's by the mercy of the Lord. And that actually can be demonstrated by offering everything to the lotus feet of the Lord, by offering as so whatever food the sannyasi collects, he first offers it, and then that is yajna, and then he partakes the remnants as prasad. And the third, another very important principle which is described over here is that of dana. Means, although one may receive by collecting, by begging, one should not think that, okay, now that I have collected everything, then everything is mine to do in what. But rather share it with others. This principle of sharing is very, very important. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as he in the purport given, that saintly persons should not argue or quarrel with materialistic persons who may request or demand part of the food stuff. So here it is explained that by sharing whatever we have with others, it is a very good gesture of means creating a sense of well-wishing or being like a Shubh Chintak. Means it is a principle of dana is a principle which is even in this Kali Yuga, it is very much appreciated by people, and giving food, especially in charity, is accepted by all as a very, very benevolent gesture. And in Bhagavatam also we see there are many instances where people have upheld this principle of giving charity or dana. And a very famous example which comes is that of King Rantidev. King Rantidev, he was a very great devotee, and he was in the dynasty of Bharat Maharaj. And for the benefit of the people, of his praja, of his subjects, he had performed a fast for 48 days. Today is also Ekadashi, today also we are fasting. So it is a good day. We can remember how to fast on one day for Ekadashi, we find it so difficult. And we need to prepare earlier itself. Previous day evening we think, tomorrow is Ekadashi, so let us have a good prasad in the evening. But here King Rantidev, he fasted for 48 days, not one day. And then at the end of this fast, when he was about to break, so a lot of nice food preparations and all were made, and then it was offered to the Lord. And then when he was about to partake the prasad, then at that point of time a Brahmana came. And so the king was very happy, so he shared whatever was 50, means half of it with the Brahmana, and gave it to him. And once the Brahmana, although he was the king, it was not that, okay, he decided that, okay, I will sit and eat in a secluded place. Means he offered it to the Brahmana, and then when the Brahman had finished as a guest, Atithi Deva Bhava, then the king was about to eat, and at that point of time another guest came of the little lower order, Shudra. It's explained in Bhagavatam, the 9th canto describes this in detail. And King Rantidev, he shared whatever was left with him. He was about to take that, again he shared it 50-50 with that Shudra. And then as he was about to take the whatever was left over to break the fast, then another guest came. So King Rantidev, now he thought, now if I make it half and half, तो फिर ना उसका पेट भरेगा ना मेरा भरेगा, तो better है उसी को दे देते. So he gave everything to him, है ना. So now so the king decided, now okay, let me at least have water now to break the fast. So that means we can understand that all this 48 days the king was not even having water. So when he decided to drink the water, at that time a very thirsty person came along. It's described, some Chandala came with a pack of dogs or anything, and they were all very thirsty and they were wanting water. And so King Rantidev, with a very, very good heart, it was not that with he was like cursing himself कि ये क्या है, मैं इतने दिन उपवास किया and now I have to break the fast, and now people are not allowing me to even break by drinking water. No, he was very happy to share. And then in his prayers he actually expresses his desire that to the Lord, seeking the blessing that every time let me get this benediction that I may be able to give everything of myself in charity. And then there is also this example of Shibi Maharaj, how Shibi Maharaj, he not only gave whatever his possession was, the food or anything, but he gave himself, his own body, for saving the life of his subject, which was a pigeon. And then, of course, in both these cases, how the Supreme, it is explained how the Supreme Lord himself was actually orchestrating all these events just to glorify his devotees and to show how these principle of dana and sacrifice for the well-being of others is actually one of the very, very important qualities which the Supreme Lord, he likes, and he is very happy to see in his devotees and his subjects. And this is a way by which we can actually attract the mercy of the Lord. And it is explained also in that when Lord is pleased, then he gives us all the blessings and all the mercy, so that we can continue to serve in his mission. For some people, food may actually means eating the gross food. And for the others, like yesterday also there was a discussion on the Panchakosh. So for others who are more intellectually minded, for them food is, okay, getting a chance to debate with others on various topics or discuss or to win over. For them, winning over somebody by debate is much more gratifying than even eating Chappan Bhog, Mahaprasad or anything. So, for such people also, it is very important that we should, the principle is given that not only that food in physical form, the example is there how Rupa Goswami, he himself was also one of the greatest of renunciates. And he explained, by his own personal example, he showed that how, as is given in this today's purport, that one should not argue or quarrel with materialistic persons. So Rupa Goswami ji, when he was there in Vrindavan, and then there was this great Pandit from Kashmir who had come there to debate, and he was carrying this big dhwaja, and along with him a big entourage of people, and he was displaying his panditya or his achievements, and he was carrying a big Vijay Patra and saying that I am the greatest of all the intellectuals. So he came, when he came to know that, okay, Rupa Goswami ji is one of the very learned scholars of Vrindavan. So he came to him and said that you have to debate with me and defeat me, else you have to sign this Vijay Patra. And Rupa Goswami ji, just to avoid all this mundane activity, he actually accepted that, okay, then no need for argument, I immediately, if that is what you need, I am ready to sign. And he actually signed the Vijay Patra and gave it to him. So here he is demonstrating that how it is a much, much better bargain to give something in charity or to accept defeat and be humble and save a lot of time and energy rather than sit and argue with such materialistic and people and waste time. Rather than that, we can, if we are able to utilize that time in the service of the Lord and doing devotional service, that is a much, much better bargain. So, it is even in our society, like what Prabhupada has given, even when we are dealing in this material world, we find that many a times, whatever donations we also collect, and many a times we are also expected to pay some tax to the government and for the and it is a much, much easier and better bargain rather than you try to avoid tax and incur a lot of troubles for you. Better that you pay and then you actually can save yourself with from a lot of trouble and worries. So this is a very important principle which can be applied to even each one of us. how we can actually follow the rules and regulations of the land. So, and here one another very important principle which is being described is that one has to actually accept the supremacy or surrender to the will of the Lord. If one actually surrenders by not keeping anything, and for the future we are actually expressing our full faith that means if Lord is there to protect me, Rakshate ti Krishna, then I don't need to put in extra endeavor to protect myself. So even in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second canto, there is a description of how it is Chirani kim pathina santi dishanti bhiksham naiva gripa parabharat bhrata saritopi ashyushan ruddhak guha kim ajito vatinopasannan kasmat bhajanti kavayo dhana durmadandha. So here in this verse it is explained that it says, are there not torn clothes lying on the common road? Do the trees which exist for maintaining others no longer give alms in charity? Or do the rivers, have the rivers become dried up that they can't give us water for the thirsty? Or are the caves on the mountains, have they become closed? Or above all, does the Almighty Lord not protect the fully surrendered souls? Why then should do the learned sages go to flatter on those who are intoxicated with the hard-earned wealth? So here is explained that for a person who is actually surrendered soul, who is surrendered to the Lord, he does not need to bother. Everything is already given by the Lord, and it is there in ample quantity. We don't need to worry. Where will I get from? In Hindi also it is said that the Lord, He चींटी को कण भर देता है और हाथी को मन भर देता है. So He has arranged for everybody. Means even when the child takes birth, the milk is already arranged for the child. So if the Lord is making so much arrangement for everybody, so then why for a person who has actually surrendered himself to the Lord, then why for him the Lord will not take care of his needs? There are clothes lying, torn clothes, you can be satisfied by accepting them, and if you are feeling hungry, you can take, now to the summer season is coming and mangoes. In the forest there are so many mango trees that, and so many mangoes that you don't need to worry. Means there is abundance in the nature, but only thing is if we need to surrender and accept the will of the Lord. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada actually explains that it is the first duty of a person in the renounced order of life, he says, is to contribute something, some literary work for the benefit of human being, in order to give him realized direction towards self-realization. So, especially for people in the fourth order, that is the sannyas order, it is important that they contribute something for the for giving good direction to the society. And then it is explained how Srila Rupa Goswami and all these 6 Goswamis, they spend their entire time in the Vrindavan by sharing whatever they had with the people, and then caring for them and giving them spiritual guidance. And then they wrote so many books under the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for guiding the people of Kali Yuga, especially those who have been thoroughly bewildered by the condition, by the Maya. And Srila Prabhupada also, following in their footsteps of the Acharyas, he also, after taking sannyas, although he went to the West and he was living as a mendicant, as a sannyasi, and whatever he had, every time, whatever he would get, many a times in the early days, when few people would come and to sit with him and listen to his kirtan or to his class, and most of them, they were all drug addicts and other, the people from the Bahuri. And Prabhupada, whatever he had, even if he had just one fruit, he would cut and share it with all of them. And by doing so, he actually slowly gained their love and their faith, and and slowly they were able to surrender to him. And then Srila Prabhupada was able to uplift them and bring them to the level of a devotee. And so, and Prabhupada also painstakingly, he has written so many literatures for guiding all the devotees as well as the people of this age. So, we see in this purport also it is mentioned that one should Bahya indicates that one should not eat in a public place. So, eating in a public place means, many a times means, if you are eating, this principle is applicable to a sannyasi and also to even for us as devotees. If you eat in the vicinity of people, means if people are seeing, then many a times you may receive evil omens. You may, buri nazar lag sakti. So that is why, to avoid that, one needs to eat in a solitary place or in the association of devotees, and everybody is taking prasad. Not that many a times in the ashram, sometimes people may steal some mahaprasad and then they want to eat separately in solitude. That is not the principle. Mahaprasad you can always share with devotees. The principle is that whenever you are in the vicinity of people, then you should share with them rather than eat alone. And that is why even in our in most of our temples, whenever there people are devotees are taking prasad, it's not that while taking prasad you are talking with each other, and rather here the principle which is given is that one should eat food silently without talking. Or you may be hearing some Krishna katha which is being read by somebody, like we have in during prasadam time we read Prabhupada's katha, Lilamrit, or some other Krishna katha, Gaur katha. So the principle which is explained over here is that whenever you are doing any activity, you should be very attentive. When you are attentive, even if it is something as simple as eating, rather it is not, it is called honoring prasad. It's not that you are eating. Eating means eating food, which is, but when you are getting something which is offered to the Lord, which is the Lord's remnant. Some time back, I think Srivas Prabhu from Bhaktivedanta Hospital, he was describing his interaction with Yamuna Devi, and she being a very exalted devotee and senior disciple of Prabhupada. So once Srivas Prabhu had Srivas Thakur Prabhu, he had offered her some prasad from some place, I think. I'm not remembering which exactly. And after a couple of days when he met, he asked him, did you eat that prasad? So she said, no, I don't eat prasad. I honor it. So that is the mental attitude which we should have when we are taking prasad. Although it may be of our choice or our relish, or it may be some item which may not be, but we should not throw, we should not leave. Like it's explained over here, whatever comes to our plate, means one is that before starting eating we should actually, if we feel that it is in excess, we should give it to somebody else. Or once we have started, then we should not leave it, anything, waste. Consider thinking that, oh, somebody else will, or some, many times people when they leave prasad and they said, nahi, baki wo sab hai na, kutte hain unke liye. But that is not the principle. The principle is that when you have received something as prasad, and you should finish that completely. And this is one thing which was taught to us even when we were small in our family and all. And I think that is the Vedic culture also, so which is being enunciated over here. And we see that many of these principles were exhibited by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he was making his displaying his pastimes. And some time back, Damodar Prabhu was explaining, I think in one of the Sunday feast classes, Sunday Bhagavatam class, that how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi, he is called the Nyasa Shiromani, means he is the most greatest of all the sannyasis, and by his own example he displayed how these principles need to be followed. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, when he was going to Vrindavan, so of course we cannot go in too much detail, but the principle we need to understand is that Nityanand Prabhu had misled, because he did not want to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go all the way to Vrindavan, and so he diverted and took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur. And there Advaita Acharya, when he received Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and arranged, he gave him pieces of cloth for his wearing, and then he invited him to his home. And Sri Advaita Acharya says, Grihe bhitare prabhu karuna gamana dui bhai ale aila tabe karite bhojana. And he invited the two brothers to come and have food at his home. Sri Advaita Prabhu said, my dear lords, kindly enter this room. The two brothers Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu then came forward to take prasadam. So here also the principles, means Advaita Acharya had made the prasadam facility in a separate secluded room, not in the vicinity, like in the view of general public or something like that. So and then he had arranged whatever his wife had cooked, lot of prasad, and Damodar Prabhu had described in very good length how various items were made. And then first it was offered to Lord Sri Krishna, and then it was made into three parts, and then offered to, and Advaita Acharya invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that such a great amount of prasad has been cooked, and he became so happy. He says, Aiche anna ye Krishna karaye bhojana, janme janme sire dhari tahara charana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, seeing that Advaita Acharya as a grahastha, he has cooked such nice feast for the offering of to the Lord, he becomes very happy, and he says that I am ready to accept the lotus feet of such a devotee on my head forever. And then, seeing all this, he Advaita Acharya tells Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now you please sit on these plates and you accept this offering. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, better you get me another couple of plates. This is for the Lord, and so once it is offered, then we will take the prasad, little bit of some portion of that. But Advaita Acharya says, no, you have to sit, and this entire thing is for you and your Nityananda Prabhu. Of course. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, how can I accept such a huge quantity of prasad? Then there is a transcendental argument between the two, and Advaita Acharya says, no, don't make a fuss now. I know how much how many you accept food 54 times in Jagannath Puri, and each time you are accepting at least 10 times this quantity. So what is this? Is just a few morsels. So don't you please don't argue. You just sit and accept this food. And so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at that point of time, he actually explains, Prabhu bole eta anna nariba kahite sannyasira dharma nahi uchishta rakhite. So Advaita Acharya said, okay, if this is too much, you start eating, and as much as you can eat, and you can leave the rest, no problem. And then we can have Mahaprasad. Many times for our devotees also we say that, okay, ठीक है, आपको जितना खाना खा लो, बाकी का छोड़ देना, we can have Mahaprasad. But here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining that as a sannyasi, it is the duty that once you accept anything on your plate, you should not leave any remnant. He says, sannyasira dharma nahi uchishta rakhite. Sannyasi, because he is accepting everything as a mercy of the Lord, he should not leave anything or reject anything. And in that purport, today's this verse from this 11th canto is given in the purport that it is the duty of a sannyasi that he should eat in a secluded place, and first it should be offered, it should be Krishna Prasad. He should not eat anything which is not offered to Lord Krishna. And next is that whatever is given, it should be eaten everything without leaving anything for waste. So respecting everything as a mercy of the Lord is very crucial. So we take only as much as we can eat, and whatever we take, once it is taken, then we should not leave any remnants. So that goes not only with food, even with other facilities or whatever we have received. We should not think that it is just because we can pay for it. We should not think that, okay, we have a right to, we have a right on top of it, we can waste it. We should think that, okay, whatever I have got is actually a mercy of the Lord. It is a facility which I have got. It is my, it is not my right. It is a benediction. So even a few days back, one of our senior counselors, he's in a very high position in the BMC. He was explaining that now that we are nearing the summer season, so he was telling that the lakes around Mumbai, means which supply water to our this entire city of Bombay, they are left with less than 1/4, means they are only 25% having water. And now the meteorological department has also made a forecast that the rains may not be expected before 25th or 26th of June. Usually they come in the first week of June. So already in the BMC and all in the municipality, they are having high level meetings on how they can actually sustain till this peak summer period. So the principle that we need to understand is that whatever we receive, whatever in the form of energy of Krishna, the water, the electricity, whatever, everything which we have is actually a facility which has been given, and unless and until we respect it and we use it with due diligence, then it's at any point of time we may be bereft of all this also. And apart from this, there was another very nice pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, he invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come and take prasad at his home. It is we will just, as time is short, we will discuss in very brief. When the devotees used to come from Bengal to Puri for the Rath Yatra festival, and taking that as a cause, they used to come, actually they used to come to meet with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and because they had so much love for him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to express his great, his gratitude for all these devotees. They are taking so much of pain to come from all the way from Bengal to Puri, coming walking, and then going back. So much effort they used to do, every year they would do. And when they used to come, they would make lot of offerings for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and bring it to him. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just to keep their desire, he would accept and then distribute also a lot of Mahaprasad. And it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire that, okay, whatever prasad, whenever he would get, even when during the pastime of the disappearance of Haridas Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu collected alms from so many, all the shops, and once he received, then he distributed everything to the devotees. You know. So here the principles of sannyas, that he collects, and after it is offered to the Lord, then he distributes the prasad to the people for their own benefit. And in this episode, when all these devotees had come and after the Rath Yatra they left, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he made a plea. Prabhu paase aasi sarvabhauma ekadina, joda hata kari kichu kaila nivedana. So Sarvabhauma, once these devotees had left, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was also a very great devotee of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so he came and folding his hands, he made a nivedan. What? Eba Sabha Vaishnava Gauda Desha Gela Eba Prabhur Nimantrane Avasara Hoila. So he said, all the Vaishnava devotees have now gone back to Bengal, so now I would like to invite you to come and have food at my place. Please come and accept prasad. Eba mora ghare bhiksha karah masa bhari, Prabhu kabe kahe dharma nahi karite pari. So he said, he invited that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please you come to my house every day for 1 month and take prasad. So this is what invitation Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is giving. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, that is not the dharma of a sannyasi. A sannyasi should not go to somebody's house and eat every day over there. Rather, he should beg alms, collect something and then distribute, as is explained in this verse. But then, of course, then there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I cannot come to your house. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, okay, if not for 1 month, then at least, okay, 25 days you come. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I cannot come. So then he says, okay, at least 20 days. Oh, okay, at least 15 days. If not 15 days, at least 10 days. Like that. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, okay, I will come for 1 day. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually, then in the end, after the bargaining, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agrees, okay, I will come to your home for 5 days. And then after this decision, immediately then Sarvabhauma says, okay, now that you have accepted, okay, at least for 5 days, no, but today you should come. And then he invites immediately of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he tells Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you can go to Narendra Sarovar, take a bath, and in the meantime, I will keep all the things ready. And he gives his this message to his wife. She is called Sathir Ma, because their daughter's name is Shati. So, and then immediately within a couple of hours, she is such an expert cook, and she is also a great devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Both of them, they prepare. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also such a great learned Pandit, but he does not, he takes the help of others, but himself also, he starts working to ensure that all the arrangements are done for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then after making such nice preparations, they offer it to the Lord, and then he makes arrangements specific for a room where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it's also described here that how in that room it was made. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking prasad, at that time Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was guarding the door, because he did not want that others should come and see. Especially he had a notion that his son-in-law Amoga, because he was very envious of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he may come and see and then he may pass some comment. And that is precisely the reason in this pastime. Of course, we cannot, as the time is already up, we can't go in detail. But the principle was that then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya personally served for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when he was, of course, that time also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, I cannot eat so much, but then he said, no, you can surely take this prasad. And at that time, suddenly when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was busy in serving, that time Amoga actually arrives, and then seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating prasad and so much quantity, he passes a comment, "Arey, you are a sannyasi and you are having so much of food like that." And then immediately Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he with a stick in hand, he chases Amoga, and he then later on, he and his wife were cursing themselves. Oh, we invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to make him hear all this blasphemy. So curse upon us. Let Shati become a widow. Saying that, let my son-in-law die. And so such a example of a great surrender which Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his family, entire family, they were ready to take up any amount of hardship upon themselves just to please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very well understood. It's not that, and being Supreme Lord, later on, because of his connection with Amoga's connection with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arranges that he gets his mercy, and although he was destined to die of cholera, but then he revives him, and then becomes Amoga also becomes a very surrendered devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So by these examples we can see that how by surrendering and following this process which is given in the scriptures and in the Vedic Shastras, we can actually perfect our life, and by following these very simple principles, we can actually move in the right direction and make our progress from the conditional stage to the liberation stage a very possible thing in this lifetime itself. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. I am very grateful. Hare Krishna. Shri Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Hari Bol.